Sun Tzu teaches us not only how to engage our enemies, but also how to manage logistics. An army cannot fight without the proper supplies. Without food, arrows, and arms, an army cannot stand its ground. In the words of Sun Tzu, bring war material with you from home, but forage in enemy territory. Then the army will have enough food to survive. Let us see if you understand this advice. As you are growing your civilization, it's important to begin in the right manner. A thriving early economy will allow you to reach the feudal age in a strong position, from which you can continue to grow and ably battle your opponent. We'll start off with gathering food from our sheep. It is important to note that all animals decay while you harvest food from them. Make sure not to kill all your animals at once. We will focus all of our villagers on a single sheep, and once they are done harvesting meat, move them all together to the next one. This minimizes the food decay. When gathering resources, it is important not to lose too much time walking to the nearest gather point. Make sure to place your mills, lumber camps, mining camps, and town centers close to resources. You can also queue up multiple tasks for your villagers by holding down the Shift key when assigning tasks. This is a new feature in the Definitive Edition. The last lesson is a dangerous one, so pay attention. Boars are very difficult to hunt. They are far away and fight back fiercely when you attack them. However, it is possible to lure a boar to your town center and kill it safely. Before we do this, we may want to research loom in the town center as it makes our villagers stronger. Next, select one villager. Then right-click on a nearby boar to go hunt it. Watch closely as the villager shoots it twice. Now that the boar is properly aggravated and is charging at the villager, task your villager to run back to the safety of your town center. Once the boar is close to the town center, have other nearby villagers shoot the boar to kill it. Excellent! Dinner is served. You need to gather 500 food, train 21 villagers, and then advance to the feudal age in order to complete this challenge.
Salve. Quando? Quando? Presto. Quando? Salve. Fabulo.
Be sure to keep your villagers working at all times, and also assure that your town center never stops producing villagers. Only then can you hope to earn a medal from this challenge. You will also need a lumber camp and a mill. Place the lumber camp right next to the forest on your left, and place the mill right next to the forage bushes in the north of your base. Keep using your scout cavalry to explore. You must find all resources that are close to your town center. Holding the Shift key while tasking your scout to explore will set waypoints for him to follow.
Venatus.
Impero.
Ain. Correctus.
Presto. Venatus.
Presto.
Now is a good time to start luring a boar, like in the video. It might not work the first time that you try it, but do not worry. Practice makes perfect. Do not forget to build additional houses for your growing population. Build a house each time that you have 2 or less population room left. If you're struggling, observe your ally. He has done this before.
Ein. Secondo.
Salve. Venatus. Presto. Correctus. Ain. Correctus. Impero. Pabulo.
Impero. Presto. Caedo. Salve. Pabulo. Caedo. Ein. Caedo.
The gold medal is out of reach, but you still have time to earn the silver or bronze medals.
Impero. Presto. Ein. Correctus. Caedo. Condo. Salve. Condo. Ein. Caedo.
You have 21 villagers. Now you just need 500
Ain.
food.
Correctus. Condo.
Salve. Presto. Condo. Impero. Caedo. Caedo. Ein. Correctus. Condo. Ein.
The bronze medal is still within reach. You have gathered 400 food. You are so close.
Salve. Ein. Caedo. Caedo. Ein. Pabulo. Impero. Caedo.
You managed to gather the food and train the villagers necessary to proceed with strength. Now, click on the Feudal Age Research icon to advance to the next stage.
Caedo.
Well done. A good commander must learn to be decisive in war. Hesitation or mistakes can mean the difference between victory and defeat. Just as a soldier practices his spear thrusts, so too must a commander learn to be efficient and repeat tasks until he knows them by heart. Sun Tzu says, "A clever fighter wins his battles by making no mistakes." Making no mistakes is what establishes the certainty of victory, for it means conquering an enemy that is already defeated. Few generals make it this far. Let us see if you are one of them. One of the most common strategies in multiplayer games is the Fast Castle Age strategy. Today, you will learn to execute a particular build order for this. A build order is a set of instructions to be strictly followed in order to guarantee the most efficient gameplay. They are quite common in multiplayer games, so research them in your free time. First of all, it is very important to never leave your town center idle. Check your town center regularly to see if a villager is being trained. If not, use the Go to Town Center hotkey to jump to your town center and click the Create Villager button to train or queue up another villager. If you do not have enough food, force your villagers gathering food to drop off their resources. Use the rally flag in your town center to task it to send new villagers to a resource or construction site when they are trained or ungarrisoned. When villagers are newly created or when they complete a task, they can go idle. Keep an eye on the idle indicator on your top panel. Click on it or use the idle villager hotkey to cycle between idle villagers and send them back to work. Remember, build orders are a great way to improve your play, but do not forget to strategize. No single game is the same, so you will often need to think outside of the box. Good luck. Click on your town center and queue multiple villagers. Have 2 villagers build one house, and 1 villager build the second house. Use your scout cavalry to look for sheep and other resources.
Kid. Tå. Tia. Folgere. Tå.
Send any idle or new villager to collect food from sheep. Do this until you have 6 villagers collecting from sheep. The next villager that you create must build a lumber camp. Do not forget to queue up more villagers as well. When they are created, task them to collect wood. Make sure that your scout keeps on exploring. You need to find all 8 sheep and both boars. Do not forget to keep training villagers. Your town center should not fall idle. If you are relatively new to luring boars, you should research loom at your town center after your next villager is trained. Experienced players can save loom for later. Make sure that your scout keeps on exploring. You need to find all 8 sheep and both boars. The next villager that you create will have to build a house near one of the boars.
Kid.
Set the rally point of your town center on your forage bushes, and have the next villager that you create build a mill next to them. Do not forget to keep training villagers. Your town center should not fall idle.
Kid, cow. Bra bygge. Kia. Bonage. Kar, fyrige.
Valgre. Bra bygge.
Forgere. Bra bygge.
Arlev. Bitdir.
Lure the boar to your town center. You should know how to lure a boar by now. If you do not, play the early economy challenge.
Arlev. Selgere.
Erlev. Ho. Cow.
Valgre.
Have the next 3 villagers also forage for berries. Do not forget to keep training villagers. Your town center should not fall idle.
Kid. Selgere. Kia. Bitdir. Bitdir. Kjart.
Lure the second boar with the next villager that you create.
Valgre. Kjart. Bra bygge.
Do not forget to keep training villagers. Your town center should not fall idle.
Kid. Bonnet. Kia. Arlev. Valgre.
Kia. Cow. Bonage.
Send the next 6 villagers that you create to collect wood.
Kid. Bitdir. Kjart. Bonnet. Kia. Bitdir. Arlev. Bitdir. Fjordge.
Build a second lumber camp to spread out your lumberjacks. This will make your lumberjacks more productive and ensure that you have 2 places to collect wood from in case of an enemy attack.
Kjart.
Do not forget to keep training villagers. Your town
Yeah,
center
okay.
should not fall idle.
Erlov. Forgere. Fjedike.
You will need another house after the next villager is trained.
Kid. Ko. Bra bygge.
Kid. Bra bygge.
Forgere. Erlov. Ko. Bunage.
Send the next 3 villagers to build a mining camp and mine gold.
Kia.
You will have enough villagers to advance to the next age once the next one is trained. Cue the feudal age research at your town center.
Erlov. Bra bygge. Bra bygge. Bra bygge. Bra bygge. Bra bygge. Bra bygge.
Kid. Bra bygge. Forgere. Bra bygge. Erlov. Bra bygge. Kid. Bra bygge. Kia. Bra bygge. Forgere. Bra bygge.
Kia. Menige. Erlov. Menige.
Kid. Ko. Ko. Bunage.
There is not much to do while you wait to reach the feudal age. Keep scouting and keep an eye on your villagers to make sure that they do not go idle. Once you reach the feudal age, you will need 325 wood to build a blacksmith and a market. Queue up 2 more villagers while you wait for the feudal age to be researched. Have them and any other idle villagers collect wood once they are created. Now, task 1 villager to build a blacksmith, and task 2 villagers to build a market. Hint, if you have more than 900 food stockpiled, research double bit axe at your lumber camp. This is a very good early technology.
Kid. Rabuga. Kia. Rabuga. Bargara. Bitto. Rabuga. Kid. Rabuga. Bargara. Arla. Cat. Bonnet. Kia. Bonnet. Bargara. Bonnet. Kia. Bonnet. Bitfear. Bonnet.
Great! Now advance to the castle age. Excellent. You have completed this challenge. Hopefully you're happy with your time.
Kid.
If not, feel free to try again.
Bonnet.
As your army grows, so do your responsibilities. Not only must you look after your soldiers, but also after their families. It is of great importance that your people are fed, that your population grows, and that your towns increase in size. Sun Tzu says, "The command of a large force is the same principle as the command of a few men. It is merely a question of dividing up their numbers." An army is only as strong as the economy that supports it. A large army requires a large population and a surplus of food, gold, and other resources. Show me that you understand this important lesson. Booming is a common strategy for team games, especially on easily defensible maps such as Black Forest or Arena. It means building a strong economy before producing a powerful military. Booming makes you vulnerable until you reach the Imperial Age, but if executed properly, this strategy will allow you to overwhelm your enemies with large armies. The key to booming is ensuring constant production of villagers. Ideally, about half of your total population room should be villagers. To achieve this, you must build multiple town centers and ensure that they are always training new villagers. This requires a large amount of resources, especially food and wood, so finding the right balance will be important. You can also improve the resource gathering rate of your villagers by researching economic technologies at the town center, lumber camp, mill, and mining camp. These technologies are important, so do not ignore them. Apply these lessons and your empire will thrive. You have just reached the castle age. Select your town center and train as many villagers as you can with your remaining food. Set a rally point on trees for now. The key to booming is ensuring that your town centers are always busy. I say town centers because you will need more than just one. You now have enough wood and stone to build a second town center near the trees.
Rete. Buvere.
You now have enough wood and stone to build a third town center. You may even want to build a fourth town center later to speed up your villager production.
Buvere.
Your villagers need houses. Be proactive in building houses to prevent your town centers from becoming idle. Monitor your population counter at the top of the screen.
Hey, ja, Heise?
Monitor your resources. If you notice that you have a lot of wood compared with food, take villagers away from wood and have them build farms.
Bereite, ja, das ist soll. Ouvert.
Heise. Rete. Buvere.
Ja,
Great. Now make sure that this town center is busy by training villagers there as well. But do not forget your first town center. Remember, your town centers should always be training new villagers. Research economic technologies at the lumber camp, mill, and mining camp to improve the gathering rate of your
Das ist
villagers.
soll. Buvere. Ja. Es war. Buvere. Ja. Buvere. Heise. Buvere. Bereite.
You are close to being housed. Construct houses to keep up with your villager production.
Ja. Buvere.
bereite. Ouvert. Hey, ja? Ouvert.
Bereite.
Heise? Ouvert.
Ja. Buvere. Heise. Buvere. Ja. Buvere.
Ja? Ouvert.
You now have 50 villagers. Research handcart at one of your town centers to greatly improve the gathering efficiency of your villagers.
Bereite. Buvere.
Bereite. Ouvert. Heise? Ouvert.
Heise. Das ist soll. Buvere. Ja. Buvere. Ja. Bereite. Boevere. Ja. Boevere.
Hey, ja. Ouvert.
Heise. Boevere. Ja. Boevere.
Ja. Ouvert.
Ja. Boevere. Heise.
You are close to being housed. Construct houses to keep up with your villager production.
Heisse. Ouvert.
The chance to earn a gold medal has passed, but you can still earn the silver or bronze medals.
Boevere.
Ja. Ouvert. Bereite. Ouvert.
Ja. Boevere.
Hey, ja. Ouvert.
Bereite.
You are close to being housed.
Boevere.
Construct houses to keep up with your villager production.
Boevere. Boevere.
Heisse. Ouvert. Ouvert. Ja. Ouvert.
Ja. Boevere.
Hey, ja. Ouvert.
Heise. Boevere. Ja.
To advance to the Imperial Age, you will need gold and to construct either one castle or two Castle Age buildings.
Boevere. Heise. Boevere.
Bereite. Ouvert.
Ja. Boevere.
Hurry up, you can still earn the bronze medal.
Hey, ja. Ouvert.
Bereite. Boevere. Ja. Boevere. Heise. Boevere.
Heisse. Ouvert.
Ja. Boevere. Ja. Boevere.
Bereite. Ouvert.
Ja. Boevere.
Ja. Ouvert.
Bereite. Boevere. Heise. Boevere.
Heisse. Ouvert. Bereite. Ouvert.
Ja. Boevere.
Ja. Hauba. Hey, ja. Hauba. Heisse. Hauba.
Bereite. Ja. Heise. Hova, 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 geboren, hova, hova, ja, hova,
Bereite. Hey, ja.
ja, hova,
Ja.
Great! You now have 100 villagers, but you still must advance to the Imperial Age to complete this challenge.
Das ist wahr. Ouvert.
Heise. Ouvert. Bereite. Ouvert.
Bereite. Ouvert. Ja, ouvert.
Heise. Das ist Holzer. Das ist Holzer. Bereite.
Hey, ja. Heise, das soll. Ja, es war. Hauber.
Ja, das ist wahr.
You are close to being housed. Construct houses to keep up with your villager production.
Ouvert. Ja, das ist toll. Ouvert.
Well done. You have 100 villagers and are advancing to the Imperial Age.
Rete.
Your economy is now powerful enough for you to build large armies and vanquish your enemies. A commander goes to war with the army that he has, and must think of how to get the most out of it. Your opponent may seem stronger at first glance, but a sly general does not worry. He studies the enemy and the terrain, and knows how to use his soldiers to maximum effect. Sun Tzu says, "The good fighters of old put themselves beyond the possibility of defeat, and then waited for an opportunity to defeat the enemy." Did you understand what this advice should tell you? Good. Then it is time to send your troops into battle. And do not forget to always keep a level head. In this challenge, you will learn advanced tactics which will help you gain the upper hand on your opponents. First of all, always try to use your units according to their strengths and weaknesses. I will explain the standard unit types. If you want to learn more about other units, consult the technology tree. Archers are strong against infantry, but weak against skirmishers. Spearmen are strong against scout cavalry, but are not of much use against men-at-arms and archers. Skirmishers have a bonus attack against archers and spearmen, but lose out against all other kinds of military units. Men-at-arms are especially good against buildings. However, they also fare well against other units unless they are outnumbered. Scout cavalry are strong against skirmishers, but will also fare well against small groups of archers and are excellent raiders to boot. When commanding ranged units, your best chance when facing a numerically superior force is to use hit-and-run tactics. Use your archers to shoot at the enemy units. Then run away when they get too close. Take note of the surrounding terrain. If you fight downhill or from behind a cliff, your units will do additional damage to enemy units. If you fight in a narrow passage, a smaller group of units can overcome a larger one by exploiting the bottleneck. Now that you have learned these important lessons, let us see how you fare on the battlefield. Welcome. In this challenge, you must defend several areas against enemy attacks. Choose the units that are best suited to fend off each enemy army, and try not to lose too many of your own soldiers. Consult the hints section if you need a reminder about unit strengths and weaknesses. The enemy is preparing to attack you. Study the composition of the enemy forces and choose the soldiers that you want to send into battle by selecting one of the unit types available to you.
К вашим услугам. Аз делаю. Так, господи, аз делаю. Так, господи, аз делаю. Так, господи. Я так. Аз делаю. К оръжие. Бой.
The enemy is about to launch a second attack. Choose the right unit to repel these enemy archers. Now the enemy is sending a group of skirmishers. Choose the right counter and defend your land. Enemy men-at-arms approach from the south. We must stop them.
Да, так сделаю. Понятно.
Did you notice the hills nearby?
Так, понятно.
Units fighting from higher elevation have an
Аз да,
attack
господи.
bonus against enemy units at a lower level.
К оръжие.
Try to lure your enemy to the hills to use the
Аз делаю.
terrain to your advantage.
Так, понятно. Аз делаю. Так, понятно. Так, аз делаю. Так, аз делаю. Понятно. Я така. Так, понятно. Бой. Аз делаю. Я така. Так, аз делаю. Бой.
You'll have to earn the gold medal in a different battle, but do not despair. The silver medal is still within reach. Spearmen are about to cross the nearby ford to the west. Recruit some more units to repel them.
Приказания? Понятно. Так, господин. Аз делаю. Так, господин. Аз делаю. Так, господин.
The final battle approaches. This time, you are allowed to select 2 unit types with which to fend off the enemy. Try to use your units according to their strengths and weaknesses.
Да. С вашим услугам. Приказания? Аз делаю. Так, господин. Понятно. Так, господин. Да.
Good job. The enemy has been defeated, and this area is now under your control. Welcome. In this challenge, you must defend several areas against enemy attacks. Choose the units that are best suited to fend off each enemy army, and try not to lose too many of your own soldiers. Consult the hints section if you need a reminder about unit strengths and weaknesses. The enemy is preparing to attack you. Study the composition of the enemy forces, and choose the soldiers that you want to send into battle by selecting one of the unit types available to you.
Приказания? Понятно. Аз да, понятно. Аз делаю. Так, аз делаю. Понятно. Так, господин. Аз делаю. Понятно. Так, господин. Понятно. Аз делаю. К оръжию. И атака. К оръжию.
The enemy is about to launch a second attack. Choose the right unit to repel these enemy archers.
К вашим услугам. Аз делаю. Господин. Понятно. Так, господин. Аз делаю. Понятно. Так, господин. Аз делаю. Понятно. Аз делаю. В бой.
Now the enemy is sending a group of skirmishers. Choose the right counter and defend your land. Enemy men-at-arms approach from the south. We must stop them.
Да, господин, понятно. Аз делаю. Так,
You
аз
notice the
делаю.
hills nearby? Units
господин.
fighting from higher
Понятно.
elevation have an attack bonus against enemy units at a lower level.
Так,
Try to
господин.
lure your enemy to
Понятно.
the hills to use the terrain to your advantage.
Аз делаю. Так, господин. Кое оръжие?
You will have to earn the gold medal in a different battle, but do not despair. The silver medal is still within reach. Spearmen are about to cross the nearby ford to the west. Recruit some more units to repel them.
К вашим услугам. В бой! Аз делаю. Так, господин. И атака. Аз делаю. Так, господин. В бой! Аз делаю.
The final battle approaches. This time, you are allowed to select 2 unit types with which to fend off the enemy. Try to use your units according to their strengths and weaknesses.
Приказания? Так, господин. Аз делаю. Так, аз делаю. К вашим услугам. Приказания нет. К оръжию.
Receiving the silver medal is no longer possible, but do not worry. Use the remainder of this attempt to learn more about army compositions. It will certainly help you in future. Good job. The enemy has been defeated, and this area is now under your control. You may encounter adversaries that do not have the courage to face you on the field. It can be expected that some of your rivals will prefer to hide behind the walls of their strongholds. Besieging an enemy castle is an art of its own that every able general must master. Sun Tzu says, "A warlike prince carries out his own secret designs, keeping his antagonists in awe. Then he is able to capture their cities and overthrow their kingdoms." Now is the time to familiarize yourself with the construction and usage of siege equipment. Will you be able to bring down the walls of your opponent? Sometimes it is crucial to overcome your opponent early on. This is especially the case if the civilization matchup and map favor your opponent during the late stages of the game. In this challenge, you will learn how to quickly destroy an enemy castle. As soon as you reach the castle age and build a siege workshop, you can construct 4 different types of siege weapons. To destroy a castle, you will only need battering rams. These are best equipped to smash fortifications due to their high pierce armor and attack bonus against buildings. Garrison units inside of the rams to make the rams move faster and to increase their attack against buildings. Once you reach the Imperial Age, the trebuchet will become available at your castle. It is in many ways the most powerful siege weapon in the game, but it needs to pack and unpack when reloading to fire at enemy buildings. The bombard cannon does not have that problem, but it has lower attack and range than the trebuchet. Bombard cannons are also effective against units. However, you must first research chemistry at the university before you may produce them. If you decide to attack enemy fortifications, make sure that you have enough soldiers to defend your siege units. Unprotected siege weapons are quite vulnerable. Additionally, research the armor and attack upgrades at your blacksmith so that your soldiers stand a better chance against enemy defenders. Enough talk. Let's tear down a castle. You have already learned how to defeat an opposing army in a pitched battle. Now, you will familiarize yourself with besieging enemy castles. Your opponent has a castle in the west. To defeat him, you must destroy this stronghold, but you will need siege weapons. You can train 4 different types of siege weapons at the Siege Workshop.
Nakwarma, nir, Farang.
Nekwarma.
Mangonels and scorpions are effective against enemy units, but lack the durability and range required to destroy castles. Therefore, to destroy a castle, you will need battering rams, which can also be garrisoned with soldiers.
Here? Azul. störa fickorna. Ebony. Here. Ebony.
The gold medal is out of reach, but you still have time to earn the silver or bronze medals.
Dois. Ebony.
Attack the castle with multiple battering rams to destroy it as quickly as possible. Deploy additional military units to protect your siege weapons from enemy defenders. If your initial attack fails, your opponent will try to repair his damaged castle. Do not allow that to happen.
Azul. Ebony.
In order to protect your rams, it is wise to guard them with additional soldiers. Remember to research upgrades at your blacksmith so that your soldiers are more effective in combat. The bronze medal is still within reach.
Nakmalma. Ebony.
أزول فماح أخدم تلمينا أخدم تلمينا أكلي روحها ذهب جدف ثاب الناس إيه
Here.
Stop.
Nakmalma. Ebony.
لك والله ثاب الناس ثاب الناس
Dois. Azul. Akli roha. Ebony. Dois. Ebony. Nakmalma. Ebony. Azul. Abney. Here. Abney.
Nakmama.
I dub.
عليت الحتمين. لا والله.
Azul, ثلاثي ترمخ. Seven days.
عليت الحتمين.
Stop. Seven days. Azul. Lek Walmar, Akliro Hav. Seven days. Seven days. Fermor. Akliro Hav. Fermor. azul, لكوامة تتخمخ تاب النيف
عليت الحتمي
إيه لكوامة تاب النيف
Here? Dois dois. I tab. Avenay.
azul فامخ تاب النيف عقلي روحه تاب النيف
Azul. Avenay.
وجدوف تاب النيف لكوامة تاب النيف
Nakmarma. I tab.
azul تاب النيف
إيليا أنا سيدي لبوا نوسا سيدي أنا نوسا أنا
وجدوف تاب النيف
إيليا أنا سيدي عليت الحتمينك لا أنا سيدي عليت الحتمينك نوسا سيدي نوسا سيدي
Azul.
لا أنا نوسا أنا لا والله نوسا عليت الحتمينك أنا لا والله نوسا سيدي الماثل أنا نعم عليت الحتمينك هجمف
إيه تاب النيف
دمر السلاح هجمف السلاح هجمف لا والله هجمف
That'd be nice.
Outstanding. The enemy's castle lies in ruins. His
Let's
camp
go,
is
man.
now at the mercy of
That
our
was
soldiers. Sometimes you will face an enemy stronger than yourself. Be like a wrestler who is smaller than his opponent. He does not meet his opponent's strength with his own, but instead looks for his enemy's weakness. So too must you learn to strike your enemy where he is vulnerable and cut his supply lines before you can meet strength with strength. here is the virtue in raiding. On this subject, Sun Tzu advises, the impact of your army should be like a grindstone dashed against an egg. This is achieved through the knowledge of weak and strong points. Be relentless, because the enemy will be relentless as well. Now, show me what you have learned. Early attacks, also called rushes, are often a cat-and-mouse game. You can harass the enemy economy by sending military units to attack enemy villagers. If the villagers fight back, or if enemy soldiers arrive, your raiders should retreat and seek better opportunities. Try to pick off any weak or separated villager instead of going for large groups. That way, you will do the most damage while sustaining the least losses. Do not chase villagers when they are too close to their town center. You will risk losing several units to the arrows that it shoots. Keep an eye on your own economy while you attack the enemy. You must keep collecting more resources and training villagers so you can continue to train new soldiers, upgrade your military, and finally advance to the next age yourself. The best of luck to you. It is time to take the fight to your enemy before he can bolster his defenses. Train an army and attack him. Kill 5 villagers as quickly as possible. Keep on scouting the enemy base with your scout. It is important to find weak points in its defenses. Three soldiers are already enough units to attack with. The longer you wait, the stronger the enemy gets. Now that you have a decent raiding party, you can start upgrading your soldiers. Only research technologies that will improve the units that you train. Archers are a good offensive unit due to their range and decent attack. Research fletching at a blacksmith to increase their attack and range. The speed and agility of scout cavalry make them excellent raiders. However, their high food costs can slow the growth of your economy. Research foraging at the blacksmith and bloodlines at the stable to augment their offensive capabilities.
Heise. Suche.
Keep an eye on your own economy while you attack the enemy. You want to keep collecting more resources and training villagers so as not to fall behind. To kill villagers more effectively, block their path to their town center with your soldiers. Try to avoid approaching the enemy town center for now. You are not able to destroy it yet. That is the first villager down. Good job. Another villager is down. Three villagers down. 2 more to go. but you still have time to earn the silver or bronze medals. Just one more villager. Well done. You have killed 5 enemy villagers. The economy of your opponent is weakened, and he will struggle to keep up with you.
Over.
You are not the only one who will be raiding. Your opponent will not hesitate to attack you when and where you are weakest. Therefore, you must use your skills to defend your people and train your peasants to defend themselves. Hence, that general is skillful in attack whose opponent does not know what to defend, and he is skillful in defense whose opponent does not know what to attack. Sun Tzu wrote, "Show strength where you are weak. Wherever the enemy attacks, show him that you are ready to repel his soldiers. Be ready and prepared, Commander, because now it is up to you." The enemy player will usually not stand idle while you build your empire. Learning how to maintain growth while under pressure from enemy attacks is vital to your empire's survival. As you can see, your base is surrounded by impassable objects such as trees, mines, and forage bushes. These will act as a natural barrier between your units and those of the enemy. However, in between them are gaps through which the enemy can advance. To defend your base, you will have to use your villagers to build walls, gates, and buildings to close these gaps. Like this. When the enemy sends in their military units, your top priority is to protect your villagers. Ringing the bell of your town center is an option, but it will paralyze your economy. Instead, just garrison the villagers that are in immediate danger. A watchtower offers both protection for your villagers and defense for your base. Make sure enemy units cannot position themselves within one tile of your tower, however. Your towers cannot shoot at units adjacent to them until you research murder holes in the Castle Age. Pre-Castle Age units like militia, men-at-arms, spearmen, scout cavalry, archers, and skirmishers are not strong enough to destroy a base on their own. Instead, they are used to harass and kill enemy villagers to damage the enemy economy. During such an early rush, it is possible to fight back. If you have more villagers than the enemy has military units, or if you have military units of your own, use them to fight the invaders. Just make sure that you do not lose any villagers. That would harm you more than keeping them garrisoned. Focus on the enemy units with low hit points first. Villagers do not fight automatically, so you must manage them carefully. I hear the enemy approaching. Take up arms and fend off their attack. Advancing to the next stage quickly can be important, but your opponents will try to prevent you from gaining this advantage. In this mission, we will try to advance to the next stage while under pressure from attacking enemies. Use your scout to look for enemy buildings. You can anticipate an attack if you know what the enemy is training.
대기. 이동.
Do not forget to wall off any weak spots and build watchtowers where needed. The enemy will arrive at any moment.
목수. 저요? 출동. 목수.
Focus on protecting your villagers, but do not keep them idle for too long. The enemy is attacking your base.
준비. 네. 이동.
If you build palisade walls around your watchtowers, enemy melee units cannot reach them.
예? 저요? 그러죠. 출동. 농부. 준비. 농부.
대기 이동 광부 나무
실시.
그러죠. 예. 목수 저요? 준비 그러죠. 광부
The chance to earn a gold medal has passed, but you can still earn the silver or bronze medals.
예? 이동 저요? 대기 준비 실시 예. 그러죠 실시 예? 예 대기 이동 목수. 예, 그러죠. 저요? 목수.
Hurry up. You can still earn the bronze medal. You can advance to the castle age. Click the button. You are advancing to the next age.
실시.
Congratulations.
광부.
You made it.
광부. 저요?
Sun Tzu stresses balance. But a commander will not always have his 2 feet on solid ground. Sometimes he must set sail to achieve victory. Rivers must be navigated to open new trade routes. And oceans must be crossed to make new discoveries. But what if your opponent also has brought ships to sea? Sun Tzu teaches us the onrush of a conquering force is like the bursting of pent-up waters into a chasm 1,000 fathoms deep. You are not water-shy, are you? Good. The captains of your fleet are awaiting your orders. There are 3 main types of warships available for use against your opponents. Galleys equipped to fire from a distance, fire ships for close combat, and exploding demolition ships. Each of these warships has its own strengths and weaknesses. The war galley fires bolts from a long distance, but the fast, maneuverable fire ship with its high pierce armor is an excellent counter to it. Demolition ships, on the other hand, are fast and very effective at clearing out groups of enemy ships in one devastating explosion. They do especially well against groups of fire ships. However, if the approaching demolition ships are targeted by war galleys, they will be sunk before they can get close enough to cause any damage. Using the 3 ship types efficiently requires some practice. Hoist the sails and prove your mettle. Welcome. In this challenge, your goal is to defeat the enemy fleet that is blocking the river. Try to lose as few of your own ships as possible in the battles ahead. reached the last enemy blockade. Utilize everything that you've learned about naval battles to sink the remaining enemy ships. Not have enough ships left to earn the gold medal, but the silver medal is still within reach. Lost many ships. Achieving the silver medal is no longer possible, but defeating the enemy still is. Try to deploy your ships optimally according to the characteristics that you have learned. The next challenge is open. Hoist the sails. The most important thing for an army is discipline. A disciplined army can be vastly outnumbered, but still seize victory. A disciplined army can hold their ground, move around the battlefield quickly, and, if necessary, retreat in an orderly fashion. When fielding your army, Sun Tzu says, whether to concentrate or to divide your troops must be decided by circumstances. Use fast forces against slow ones. Use feigned retreats to lure your enemies into ambushes, and split your army to flank your enemy. This is what Sun Tzu teaches us. Do you understand this lesson? If so, take command of your army and show me that you do. Groups of soldiers have 4 different battle formations: line, box, staggered, and flank formation. Line formation is the standard battle formation. It densely packs your units, making them fight well against other units. Flank formation divides your army, sending one half to one side and the other half to the other side. This is useful for avoiding projectiles, like those from mangonels and bombard cannons. With staggered formation, your units spread out. This makes them less vulnerable to area damage or to scorpion missiles, which pass through units. Box formation is designed to protect vulnerable units in the center by surrounding them with stronger units. However, this is not used as much in online games, as it spreads out the group and makes the units on the outside easier targets. To manage large groups of different unit types, it is always a good idea to use control groups. This helps you to quickly select and move them around on the battlefield. To create a control group, select a group of units and simultaneously press Control and one of the number keys, 1 through 9. Then, to select a control group, press the same number. You can have up to 10 groups at the same time. With this knowledge, you should be able to maneuver your army around more easily. Go ahead and practice it in the next challenge. Welcome to the next challenge. Now, it is time for you to learn about battle formations and control groups. The enemy has placed several obstacles on the path ahead. The first one is a mangonel. Approach the mangonel, and when it shoots, use flank formation to avoid its projectiles.
Sane, ago. Ai, pugno.
You missed the chance to earn the gold medal this time, but the silver medal is still within reach.
Comita.
Earning the silver medal is no longer possible. Use the remainder of this attempt to learn more about battle formations. It will certainly help you in the future. Excellent! The enemy has stationed several scorpions at the next point. Your units are unlikely to avoid their bolts entirely, but using staggered formation will reduce the damage that they inflict.
Pugno. Ago. Ai. Ago. Sane. Sane. Ai. Ago. Sane. Comita. Pugno.
I hope that you did not lose too many units. Your units have healed in preparation for the next roadblock. This consists of an army of swordsmen. Use the terrain to your advantage.
Ago. Ai. Ago. Sane. Ago. Ai. Comita. Sane. Ai. Sane. Ago. Sane. Ago. Ai. Ago. Sane. Ai. Sane. Ago.
Welcome to the next challenge. Now, it is time for you to learn about battle formations and control groups. The enemy has placed several obstacles on the path ahead. The first one is a mangonel. Approach the mangonel, and when it shoots, use flank formation to avoid its projectiles.
Impero. Ai. Pugno. Ago. Porro. Comita. Sane. Ai. Porro. Pugno. Ago. Comita. Porro. Ai.
You missed the chance to
Pugno.
earn the gold medal this time, but the
Comita.
silver medal is still within reach.
Pugno.
Excellent!
Ai.
The enemy has stationed
Sane.
several scorpions at the next point. Your units are unlikely to
Pugno.
avoid their bolts
Ago.
entirely, but
Ai.
using staggered formation will
Sane.
reduce the damage that they
Ai.
inflict. Earning the silver medal is
Sane.
no longer possible.
Ago.
Use the remainder of this attempt to learn more about battle formations.
Ai.
It will certainly help you in the future. Welcome to the next challenge. Now, it is time for you to learn about battle formations and control groups. The enemy has placed several obstacles on the path ahead. The first one is a mangonel. Approach the mangonel, and when it shoots, use flank formation to avoid its projectiles.
Sane. Porro. Ein. Ago. Ein. Sane. Comita. Porro. Comita. Sane. Pugno. Porro. Ago.
Excellent!
Ein.
The enemy has stationed
Sane.
several scorpions at the next point. Your units are unlikely to avoid
Ein.
their bolts entirely,
Sane.
but using staggered formation will reduce the
Pugno.
damage
Ago.
that they inflict.
Sane. Ago. Ein. Sane. Ago. Ein. Ago. Sane. Ein. Comita.
You've missed the chance to earn the gold medal this time, but the silver medal is still within reach. I hope that you did not lose too many units.
Pugno. Sane.
Your units have
Ago.
healed in preparation for the next roadblock. This consists of an
Ago.
army of swordsmen.
Sane.
Use the terrain
Ein.
to your advantage.
Ago. Sane. Ein. Ago. Sane.
Those swordsmen were too slow for you. You will have to use control groups to overcome the next obstacle. Travel south until you encounter a group of
Ein.
knights.
Sane. Ein. Ago. Sane. Ago. Ein. Ago. Sane.
The knights are few in number, but they are strong. Two
Impero.
groups of enemies wait ahead. Use
Comita.
control groups to split and manage your army while you engage them.
Ein. Pugno. Ein. Porro. Ein. Sane. Ein. Sane. Ein. Sane. Ein. Sane. Ago. Sane. Comita.
Well done!
Ein.
With some
Ago.
good management, you can deal with large
Ein.
numbers of enemies. Your last challenge will be the hardest.
Sane.
A combined force of mangonels and pikemen blocks the final stretch.
Fresco.
Use everything that you've learned to cut your way through it.
Ago. Pugno. Ein. Sane. Ago. Ein. Sane. Ein.
Earning the silver
Ago.
medal is no longer possible. Use the
Sane.
remainder of this attempt to learn more about battle formations.
Sane.
It will
Ago.
certainly help you in the future.
Impero. Ago. Sane. Ago. Sane. Ein. Ago. Porro. Impero. Sane. Ein. Ago. Presto. Sane. Ago. Ago. Sane. Ein. Impero. Pugno. Presto. Ein.
That will show them. Great job. You've learned everything about formations and control groups and can now try out the next challenge.
Excellent! You have mastered every lesson that I had to teach. Remember the words of Sun Tzu and his teachings about the art of war, and you will win many battles. Or in the words of the wise philosopher warrior, if you know the enemy and you know yourself,
You need not fear the result of 100 battles.